This is one of this fun thing about fragrance hobby. My name is Dave. Welcome to my place. This one is Aura Giacomo. Fun is because I bought a Giacomo before, and that's a very interesting one. Because of that, I looked into this house, saw this one for less than $10 for a 100 ml bottle. So when that happens, we have to dive in and see what happens, okay? Because the first one was pretty successful. That's how we get into the house. But if the first one was trash, then yeah, it's difficult to get back into it again. Now this one, when I first sprayed it, it's one of those things where the mind was playing tricks on me because it's less than $10. And when I smelled it at first, let me spray first. It's not a typical designer type of fresh, easygoing type of scent. Not in the first spray, okay? And it took me a few wearings to start to kind of get what this is about. But because I knew it was less than $10, I thought, okay, this is not good. It's too harsh. It's not, as if it's not well put together. So I dismissed it. But then I see it. I saw it sitting there. So give it a few more spray. And then I was wearing a fragrance with tobacco. And then I wore this again. I thought, oh, okay. Why did it not dawn on me in first that this is a tobacco-based scent with a lot of supporting notes around it? But because there's so much going on here, that it was kind of making it difficult for me, my nose, to get acquainted to, to having that nice tobacco with a bunch of stuff around it. It just kind of screwed my nose up a little bit. Okay, I wasn't able to really enjoy it for the first few wearings. And then later on, I understand it's a tobacco note, and I got it, and then I start to accept it, and I start to pick out the other stuff around it. You're gonna have the fresh ginger. Now the on top is gonna be very fresh. Not super fresh, okay, but it's kind of fresh. I'm getting the ginger and citrus, but because it also have juniper and sage. If you ever smell those two, both are very distinctive type of smell. Example, what I mean is, if you say citrus, you could say, well, it's lemon, it could be lime, it could be bergamot, it could be those or the mixture of those, and they're kind of similar. But then when you smell juniper and sage, those are very distinctly different type of smell than any other thing that you could smell. Okay, so those are very easy to detect, and we're gonna have that. But because they're quite different, I guess it's not one of those super easy type of scents to get used to it, especially for a newcomer to the fragrance. When you smell sage or juniper, sometimes the way they're used, it could be a little bit, I guess, hard to accept, okay? For me, at least, in the very beginning. And when you put citrus and ginger along with those in the beginning, it's just it's fresh, but a very different but difficult type of beginning to accept. And I was caught on up that in the very first few wearings, and it was hard, and I didn't like it. And then the tobacco would come in the middle, but already my mouth was kind of not liking this, okay? So it was a very bad introduction for me because it's a non-typical introduction. But I was thinking, if I had paid $100 for this, my mind would be telling me, this is very artistic. I'm just telling you however I feel as a common person. Our mind will play tricks on us. We easily are swayed, okay? If we pay a lot for something, we're trying to find something good about it. That's just the way we are. We think it is good for a reason. It has to be good for a reason. So the middle, I'm getting some sweet. There's some green tea, which I can kind of tell once, I know what's in there. Then yeah, okay, I see. I could pick that out. You're gonna get cinnamon as well. That some sandalwood, some fresh woods, patchouli, sweet amber. But mainly the tobacco, once it comes out in the middle, is gonna dominate. And sage and juniper, I'm picking that up all throughout. So to summarize, I'm getting a mixture, a pot of the tobacco, the citrus, juniper and sage, and the fresh ginger. Okay, and a little bit of green. And it's a very uncommon mixture of smell. Okay, that's why it's a little bit difficult. Now the bottle itself is very different as well. It's very unique. In you have a plastic see-through stand around it. It's a U shape, and you have a fragrance just stuck in right in between. They dig a hole, punch a hole, and just stick the atomizer through the head. It's just like that, and it's very unique. I mean, the way it's, you never seen anything like this on the market. So this is kind of cool, and I like that. I appreciate that. It's neon green, so yeah. Throughout, that's what I'm getting. The first initial punch was that fresh citrus with the fresh ginger, and then the juniper and sage. That making it very different. And then later on, tobacco and the green is gonna dominate, and some sweet. The cinnamon and the nutmeg, it comes out very spicy, and that spicy playing along with the sage gonna have a very I think it's like I want to say Eastern type of taste, a smell, something like a food from Thailand or something. If you ever eat Thai food, the spice that they use is very different than let's say Chinese food or Japanese food, things like that. But this has a Thailand type of vibe to my nose. Yeah, they have different soups or spices they use on their food, on their rice or noodle or soup. It's very distinctive. I get some bit of that. So to summarize, I was having a very hard time in the beginning, first few wearing, until I picked up that tobacco, and that laid the base for me to build everything around it. If you're beginning in this fragrance hobby, later on you realize something. It is really like building a pyramid. Once you understand what's in there, and then you allow your mind to accept it, and you go, okay, I got it. This is tobacco, and then you start to pick up the other things, and then you'll be able to accept it more. I think we do that a lot with our kids. I have a couple kids. And a lot of time they try something new. They never tried it before. They don't know what it is. And when it's something very different than what they usually had, first thing they will say is, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. Even before anything. But once you explain to them in advance and trying to trick them in a way that, okay, there's like strawberry in there, okay? And then there's added something else to the strawberry. They get it. Oh, there's strawberry, there's banana, there's juniper, there's like blueberry, things like that. Once they get it, they'll be able to accept it better. And I think us humans are like that. Once we understand it, then we'll be able to accept a lot more things, right? So yeah, this one is tobacco strong. It's a little bit pungent, okay? Pungent as if it's just a little bit strong to a point of being just a bit obnoxious. And yeah, I absolutely think this is hard for beginners to take. When I spray this, my family don't want to be around me, so I don't wear this one out too much. And this is very suitable for the warm weather. I have the AC on right now. That's why I tried it. I'm using it. If not, yeah, I wouldn't dare. So the fresh ginger is way in the background right now. The citrus is in the background right now, while that green tea and the tobacco is dominating. And the sage still plays around for quite a bit. Sprayer is good for less than $10 fragrance. You see this, you wonder with this cheapie bottle, is it gonna be a trash? No, this is nice. This is nice. If you put a $80 price tag, I would say, oh, this is very artistic. So it is a little bit harsh, a little bit obnoxious, but yet it's a nice tobacco scent. So once we get used to it, I always put this in a great cheapie find in my catalog, and I like that. So now this one is a success. I'll be looking into the others from the line. So 2 for 2 so far. Jacomo. For such an inexpensive house, and these fragrances is a great way to try things that's a little bit more artistic than our usual easygoing, fun-loving thing. Okay, they're very masculine for sure. occasions, yeah, you gotta be careful where you wear this. It is a, like I said, it is a projecting puppy. Okay, longevity is okay. 3 or 4 hours, half a day is fine. It does not last all day on me. Then again, my skin is dry, so it's hard on the fragrances. The age, yeah, you gotta be 21 and up. Of course, there's always exception. You have 18 or 16-year-old that enjoy fragrances. They'll be able to dig into it a lot earlier. But for the typical people, I would think 21 and up, especially with the tobacco notes. It is a densely packed tobacco note. And that sage, I like sage, but it could be hard to take at times. Okay. And this is one of those times that it was difficult. But once you get used to it, you go, this packs a punch, and it is very different. Okay, and I like that. I enjoy this. For this house to be able to put this together, this has been in the market since the 2000s, so it's been around for a while. It does not smell outdated. I almost want to categorize this a little bit for sure, but not really. Yeah, I don't see this that way, but yeah, I like this though. Giacomo's been around for 40 some years, and they don't have a huge catalog. Okay, maybe like 30 plus, but I'm glad I found this house. This couple more that I have and I want to get. I think there's a Giacomo, the Giacomo Intense that I wanna see. For any price around 20 something, it's easier to dip our toes and explore the house. So I'm glad I picked it up. Anything else? Yeah, it is unique. I don't have anything like this one. Nothing that I can compare to right off the bat. For sure, it's a cool weather. Okay, just remember that this is a densely packed. Even though initially it's just a tiny bit fresh, but for sure to me this is a cool weather type of scent. Okay, then I hope that is kind of helpful. If you ever see this around online, when you're deciding, to look into it and you think it's trash or not, I'm telling you, it's not a trash, and I really enjoy it. I'll give it like maybe 7.5 out of 10, maybe even higher considering the price. I would say 8.5 considering the price, but just the juice itself, for my personal preference, I would say 7.5 to 8. Okay, so 7.75. I hope that is helpful. See you next time.